Good afternoon, Pastor Rachel here. It is March, and March is a big milestone month for us in Saline. For the past 3 months, I've been working behind the scenes to get some structural things put together, to begin to raise up leaders, and probably most importantly, to begin to develop small groups called huddles that are limited in number, but we'll do them for as long as we need to get everyone through who wants to go through huddles. All these things are helping us create a foundation that we can then launch into our next season from. So March is a big milestone in that I will now be regularly in the pulpit on Sundays. So not just behind the scenes, but in the pulpit. So every first and third Sunday, I'll be in the pulpit in Saline, and we'll have a regular pulpit team that comes through. Some of them are people that you know, who you've really enjoyed, who've been ministering to you for this past year. Some of them are pretty new to you. Craig Boer was here last month. He'll be in our regular rotation. So you'll get to know the faces that are in the pulpit when I'm not there, and we're all going to be carrying the same message. That we are on mission to be and to make disciples. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for you to meet a couple of new faces who are going to be in that rotation. So March really is a new chapter, and it's exciting. We've been working up to coming to this place. I am looking forward to meeting some of you I haven't gotten to meet yet. So I have been in service a few times since December, but some of you haven't been able to be there physically because of COVID or other concerns. And so now that I'm coming on full in staff, not full time, I'm still in Jackson and Saline, but now that I'm coming in more fully into the role I'm going to be playing, I would love to meet you guys. So whether that's phone call or whether you're comfortable with me coming by and we could have some tea. If you're unable to come physically to church, I would love to meet you in person if possible. But over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be calling everyone who I know of who is connected to the Assembly and still calls it their church home, but hasn't been able to be there. I'm really excited about that. Some things are going to be happening now as we hit March. We've been working on our focus as a church, our mission, which is to be and to make disciples. In March, we're going to start a new chapter of doing that. We're going to start reaching out to people in our spheres of influence in our community. And we're going to be inviting them to church. They'll be part of what we're doing as we come to this new chapter. But our primary goal isn't really even that they come to church. Our primary goal is that they encounter Jesus. And some of those folks in your spheres of influence might have a really good Lutheran church they grew up in and their family is in, and it would be natural for them to go back to that church or whatever. But we're going to be out in our spheres of influence, reflecting the glory of God and then building the kingdom. And part of the fruit that comes from that will come to our church. And so the ways that we're going to take some active steps to do that, besides what we're each doing in our own individual lives, is we are going to work on reaching our immediate community, the area right around the church, so that people know that we are open and we're having services and they are welcome. It will surprise you the number of people, educated people even, who don't know that you can just come to church. I've had people, when I've invited them to come to church, often say, do I have to be a member to come? Like they actually don't know that you can just come. Whosoever will may come. And so we want to welcome people in our community. And so there's a few things we're going to be doing. This first part of the month, we're going to work on individually reaching out to people. I'm asking you to reach out to people that you know who have been connected to the church previously, who maybe in the past year or 3 or 4 years have drifted away from the church, but aren't deeply connected yet in another body of believers. If they're deeply connected, great. We want to bless that. That's awesome. We don't want to disrupt that. But there's a lot of folks who aren't, who would like to be in a spirit-filled church and aren't right now. So I'm asking you to contact people in your spheres of influence. Maybe people who are already connected to Saline Assembly at one time. But I'm asking you to contact those people and invite them back as we come to this Easter season. Easter is April 4th, so it's early this year. And so we're going to work this first half of the month on our own connections, our own spheres of influence. I have a lot of friends in the Saline, Ann Arbor, Dexter, Milan, Plymouth area, many of whom aren't believers yet, who I'm planning on personally inviting to Easter services this year, and I believe they'll come because I'm close and we have a relationship. And so I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. Would you reach out to people you know who may be interested in coming either to a service or they're looking for a church? Would you begin to invite them as we come up to this Easter season to come to church with you? The other thing we're going to be doing in this first part of the month, first half of the month, is we're wanting to train some more teams. So we had hoped to do a training this first Sunday in March for greeters and prayer team. And we're going to pull some people from Jackson to come that Sunday and to help us. But between Jackson and Saline, we couldn't get a lot of the key people we needed for the first Sunday in March. So it looks like the third Sunday in March, which is, I wrote the date down. The third Sunday in March is the 21st. That's going to be the day. The third Sunday, the 21st, we're going to have our prayer and our greeter team training right after service. So whether you're interested in being a part of those teams or whether you just want to come and be part of the training, you can do that. You don't have to be on the team once you've got the training. The training will be great for anyone. So everyone's welcome to come, but you'll need to let me know you're coming because we're going to order lunch in and we're going to have training right after service ends. And that Sunday, there'll be some of the prayer team from Jackson who's going to come out and minister during the service and then help with the training as well. And so I'm excited for you to meet them and they're excited to meet you. And that's gonna be a lot of fun. So, and I'll get back to that Sunday in just a minute. So the second half of March, that third weekend, that Saturday, which is the 20th, we're going to be going out that Saturday. We're gonna clean the toilets, vacuum the floors for 40 minutes, half an hour. There's a bunch of us, it won't take long. We're gonna do some basic cleaning and then we're not gonna paint that day or do other building projects that day. That day we're gonna go out into the community. We're gonna have flyers, we're gonna have door hangers, that kind of thing, and we're gonna have posters. So we can send some teams into businesses and hang posters up. It's just invitations for Good Friday service and for Easter service. And then we'll be hanging up door hangers in different neighborhoods, our immediate neighborhood, then some other targeted neighborhoods we're gonna do right in the community there in Saline, just inviting them. So very low risk. We're not knocking on doors and asking for conversations. We're just hanging invitations, letting people know that we care and that they're invited. And then if we happen to meet people as we're walking in these neighborhoods, we can offer to pray with them. And we do this quite a bit. I've done this quite a bit in my life, and Jesus always shows up and does some stuff. We often come back with testimonies of people getting healed in the street, and it's a lot of fun. So very low risk though, just hanging up stuff and then just greeting people and letting them know what we're doing if we run into them. So we're looking to get out of the building and into the community and begin to just love our neighbors really, really well. So that's one thing we're doing the second half of the month. That's the third Saturday in March. That's the 20th. The next day will be the training on the 21st. The other thing we're going to do in the second part of the month is we're having, on that third Sunday, it's going to be a healing service. So we're going to have the Jackson prayer team with us, and we're going to focus on healing that day. I'm going to teach on healing. I'm going to teach on faith. And then we're going to ask for people who need healing they're welcome to come and receive. So I would encourage you, invite people that aren't believers who need to be healed. Invite believers who need to be healed. And come in faith expecting to see God do amazing things. The word says that he confirms his word through signs and wonders. He confirms his word by healing the sick, by raising the dead, by delivering the oppressed. And we're believing to see that in the house. Anytime really we gather together, but we're going to focus specifically on healing on that Sunday. So that's a great opportunity to invite people. That's the 21st. It's March 21st, that healing service. The other thing we're inviting people to is our Good Friday service. So Good Friday, it is April 2nd at 7 p.m. We're going to have a Good Friday service. Most of it will be a traditional Good Friday service with the sayings of Jesus and worship. But then we're also going to have the Michigan district come in, and that's also going to be the installation service for me. So at the end of the Good Friday sayings of Jesus and worship, Pastor O, who many of you know, he's going to install me as the pastor, which is exciting, there in Saline. Then we get to celebrate this new season of the church, right? Because the death and resurrection of Jesus created the circumstances where the church could be born and then carry the Spirit into the whole world, so that more could be saved. And so we're going to celebrate that on Good Friday. We're going to welcome the community into that celebration as well. The worship team from Jackson is going to join the worship team from Saline, and different people will be reading and speaking. The service will be about maybe an hour and a half long, but both people from Jackson and Saline. And that'll be a chance for both churches to get to know each other and to meet each other and to bless one another. And so that's going to be an exciting service. April 2nd, it's going to be off the hook. I'm really, really excited. And then we get to celebrate Sunday, Easter, April 4th. And so these are all great things that we could be inviting people we know into. We can be inviting our community into to share with us. And so it's exciting. March and April, it's gonna be exciting 2 months, but March is really a milestone for us. And so just so you're all in the know and you know what's happening and you know how to get involved. Again, Sunday morning service is still happening at 11. It happens online. You can see it through our Facebook page. You can also see it online through YouTube. Is it YouTube, babe? Through YouTube. You can see it that way as well. If you need help getting connected to that, please email me, Pastor Rachel Ross at gmail.com. PastorRachelRoss at gmail.com. Or you can respond to this video and we'll get you hooked up with that online service at 11 o'clock every Sunday. And then Wednesday night, there's teachings as well. If you're not getting our In the Know email, let me know and I can get you hooked up with that so you have all the Zoom, ways to get into the different classes that are going on. And then also, if you don't have email, or you need paper copies of things, let me know. We want to make sure that we're connecting with you really well and that you have the information you need. But exciting, these are all really exciting things. And March is going to be, we're going to be running in March. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's see what Jesus does. He's always on the move. He's always on the move. Love you guys. Have a good day.